Hi, Bailey. I wanted to leave you some feedback on a brain explosion, like your title there. Um, your rough draft. You're doing some great descriptive detail here when you're creating the setting. I think though, if you keep this opening paragraph, be certain to state where this is. Right. Notice that I don't think you tell us that this. Oh yeah, that this is here. Seneca. I think bring the idea up and sooner if you can. Um, I really like this narrative. It feels like a literacy narrative in some ways, meaning it's how it's a personal narrative where someone comes to know and understand something about themselves. Um, and it's clear that this is what you're doing in this draft, and you've kind of narrowed it into your political beliefs, which is a really interesting conversation to have, given that it's election year and it's a very contentious election year. I love this. Uh, I love this questionnaire that you had to take, and how you found yourself kind of a centrist, but you felt tugged in both directions, right? That particularly because of your environment, um, but I think also because you felt forced to choose a side, right? And that's not necessarily, the best thing for us to do, and we're seeing in this specific moment how harmful partisanship can be, particularly when it comes to critical thinking and really understanding issues. And that's one of the things that I think, you never mention that directly, but that's one of the things that you're really kind of talking about. You're working out groupthink and how groupthink has a lot of power to shape what we believe about the world. And this was such a this was such a fun line that you did right here. The fact that this has double meaning right here. So to me, it kind of feels like everything is the rising action to the moment of the classroom, right? Where I think you said Mr. Cole, this teacher that had a really big impression upon you, in that he did not ask you to personally change your beliefs, but he did ask you to work at understanding your perspective. And what it sounds like, he really worked at rhetorical listening with you guys, which is a fantastic skill to do, right? And so I think that this potentially could be a wonderful moment of change. So we've talked this week about having that clear narrative arc. I think this classroom, this four corners exercise, could be the moment of change for you. So this is the place where you really want to use dialogue and action and descriptive detail, I think, to really make that moment of change come alive for you. So you're using a lot of summary here. This is the moment where the descriptive detail is going to be really useful. And I feel like all these other details before then, they're good. It's like the rising action. Um, yeah, sorry, I'm reading what you said right here. No, I mean, I can tell you that, as someone who remembers the the Bush era and the Clinton era quite well, that this sense of nationalism is definitely not new in the United States, but it has been amplified um, um, a lot since 2015, 2016, right in that era. Um, so as a whole, I really like what you're doing here. I think you have a realized arc. It's just putting it together with the narrative details that'll help it get there. Um, so I'm really looking forward to seeing where you take this. Uh, on your own this week, before I meet with you, I'd like to see you work on that scene of that classroom. As I said before, I think that that's your arc. Um, but I'll really look forward to see how you can use some of the descriptive strategies we talked about in class this week. All right, this is good. Thanks for sharing, and I'm looking forward to seeing more.